how would the pitch deck vary between what you pitch to a game publisher versus an equity investor?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I like that. So right now, the answer is you're probably going to find far fewer equity investors anyway. Just as a general aside thing, VC investments at both studio and project level have dropped to well before 2019 levels. So what we saw is there was a kind of an average gentle uptick that went with the growth of the industry, and then lockdown happened, right? Everything went like that. So money into the industry went up, revenue went up. Everyone thought the good times were going to last forever, and 2023 happened. 2024 is happening, right? Investment equity-based deals, both sort of pre-seed, seed, Series A, beyond, angel, they're all down massively. So don't expect to be able to find a lot of equity-based deals at the moment on either a studio or a project level. To your question, there isn't an enormous difference between them. They're both basically kind of doing the same thing. They're saying, here is a product, here is the market for it, and here is the journey. One thing that you'll probably want to do is understand where are your lines in the sand. So when you're dealing with a VC or an equity-based investor, they're going to want something different than a publisher. Like a publisher will want a 5-year term length and an option on consoles and all this sort of stuff. A VC is in it for a much longer period. They own a percentage of your company, right? And they're there forever. They're there until they dilute down. They're there until they earn out, sometimes depending on the deals and stuff. So the offer is very, very different, and you need to show a much deeper level of understanding of how to run a business with an equity-based deal, because they're buying the studio. They're actually taking a percentage of you, rather than just a publisher comes in on a short term, like maybe a 3 to 5 year term length. So if you're going to do an equity-based deal, either for the studio or for the project with like an angel or something, you want to be able to show a different set of things. Like upfront, you want to be able to show things like your cap table, if you have one, for your founders, and how your business is actually structured and what you're offering. That means putting a valuation on your company and your brand. Like, it's a much harder deal. In essence, you're still trying to sell something to someone and promising them a bunch of money in return, but just be prepared for a much more rigorous deep dive into you, rather than the product. So the publisher wants the game, and you're kind of a good to have. The equity-based deal, the angel investor, the seed investor, whatever, the VC, whatever level you're going for, they're looking for something a bit different, like a much more stringent level of just like much more detail. They just want to know much more about you and how they can recoup on their money. So it's kind of lots of similarities, but just one's much harder, much harder.